in the world. And when I got my road and track, my car and driver, sports car graphic, and I saw this car, I thought it was the beautiful car in the world. And so then I went on and I went to work for Carol Shelby and ended up going to Europe in 1965. And I went to Europe as a driver, for the Daytona Coupes, and also a mechanic on the Ford GTs. And I was working at Slough, Ford Advanced Vehicles, which is right next door to Lola Cars. And so I got to know the managing director, a guy named Rob Rushbrook, and we were borrowing tools, and et cetera, et cetera. And one day I noticed this car sitting back in the corner, and it had an old bedspread over it. And I asked Rob, I said, "Is that the Lola GT?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Do you mind if I look at it?" And he said, "No, go right ahead, help yourself." So I went back there and pulled the bedspread off, and man, I said, wow, it was in the process of being, rebuilt for Eric Bradley's personal street car. And so consequently, after spending about an hour, I went back to Rob and says, "Rob, do you think Eric would consider selling this car?" And Rob says, "Well, if ever he would, it would be now." He says, "I need the space." Lola had just come out with a T70 sports car, which was incredibly beautiful and successful. And again, this here was the prototype of that car. And so he says, "Make me an offer." And I went back and I counted every penny I could possibly get my hands on, and came up with $3,000. And so I told Rob, I can come up with the $3,000. He says, "Okay." He says, "Eric is going to be calling in." At the time, he was at Indianapolis. He was just getting into Indy cars. And of course, as you know, he won Indy 2 or 3 times. Plus, it finished well up many, many times. And Eric's going to be calling in tonight. And I'll have an answer for you in the morning. Well, I didn't sleep all night. And I got up early and went into and saw Rob. And he says, "Well, Alan," he says, "you've bought yourself a car under one condition." And I said, "Well, what is that?" And he says, "Well, Eric would really like to have the car out of the shop by the time he gets back from the U.S. And I said, "That is not a problem." So anyhow, I've had this car for 52 years, and being a mechanic and also a real estate developer and in construction development, I've been very, very busy, and I wanted to be involved personally with the car. I did not want to turn it over, to a company that would restore the car, because the car didn't need restoring. All it really needed was, I call it refreshing, because this car here is 99% totally original. And Eric actually built 3 of these cars. This here is the prototype, and then he built a second car that David Hobbs rode at Le Mans in 1963. And then the third car he sold to John Deacon Jr. And he raced it a couple times with a Ford engine, and then he put a Chevrolet engine in. And that didn't make Ford very happy. But at the same time, these 3 cars. The other 2 cars, the third car, Augie Pass, actually crashed in Riverside in 1964. And he was driving for John Deacon Jr. And the car sat for years and years and years. And finally, somebody realized what it was, and the car was restored. It was actually ended up in a museum in Germany. Then Bruce McCall bought the car and actually restored it. And the car is currently in France. But the car, to me, they destroyed the car, because they were racing it and they kept putting wider wheels, bigger tires. Of course, when you do that, all of a sudden you got to have big flares and big fenders. So can you imagine this car basically with 6-inch fenders sticking out beyond this beautiful lines of this car? And then the third car, actually that David Hobbs drove, is owned by a guy named Hideaki Suzuki. Is in Japan, and he did the same thing to it, because what they wanted, this car is qualified to run on Le Mans, the vintage races in Europe, et cetera, et cetera. But in order to be competitive, you have to run against these cars. You know, you had to, put big tires and wheels, et cetera, et cetera. But I resisted that because the car is so incredibly beautiful. And so last year, about 2 years ago, I kind of semi-retired and have a shop in Thousand Palms, which is near Palm Springs. And the guy, the promoter for the Quail and also the Monterey Historic's big party event at Monterey Airport, he wanted the car, and so I made a commitment that I would have the car ready last year in August. And so I brought over a good friend of mine from South Africa, a guy named Rob Senecal, who I actually had brought over in 2009 to start working on the car. But being in the real estate development business in 2007, 2008, it was not fun. And it was, cash. The banks wanted you to keep getting paid, and et cetera, et cetera. So I had to put that project on hold. So I brought him over again. It was just about a year ago. And where's John Hill? John Hill is with John Hill and Robbie, and some help with others, including myself. We worked our butts off. Last year in Palm Springs was not a fun year in the summer. I mean, it was not only fun, it was uncharacteristically humid. And here we were working in the sweat. I mean, it was literally a sweat factory. And but anyhow, we ended up getting it up to Monterey with 8 minutes to spare. So anyhow, then we also had it entered into Quail, and the car was chosen by the Octane magazine as his editor's choice, which is very prestigious. And so we won that. And then Ford Motor Company, in fact, John Cunard was very instrumental, and they wanted the car at the Ford exhibit out at the racetrack. It was too late to get into the main Concourse sale at Cons. And so consequently, we had out at the track at the Ford exhibit. And so then all of a sudden, Jay Leno saw the car, and he said he could not believe it. And so he said, I want you to bring it and put it on my show. I said, it would be delighted. Then the people from the big museum, the Peterson, they said, hey, we have a precious metals display. And of course, this is a silver car, fit right in. So we had a precious metals display, and then we had Jay Leno's. In fact, if you're interested, you can actually Google Jay Leno's garage, Lola GT, and you'll see a 30-minute interview with Jay and I in the car. We fired it up and told all the history about the car. So then, to top things off, about a month ago, I got an email from Lord March. Lord March is he's the one that owns the Goodwood estate in England, and they put on the Goodwood Festival of Speed and also Revival, and inviting me to bring the car over. And so this little baby is going to be on an airplane here about a week and 10 days, and then I'm going to be heading over there. So we're going to go to the Festival of Speed. Then I'll leave the car there for a couple months, and I've got some friends that are going to take care of the car. Then we'll go over for the Revival. So that's kind of the story of the car. And if you've got any questions,